Hello, friends. Good evening. I'm Manikandan Balasubramanian, founder of Change Agents Foundation. This is an online forum for building awareness around health, wealth, career, and relationships. To know more about us, please visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Change Agents Foundation. Only a healthy population can contribute productively to the overall economic growth of the country, they say. This pandemic situation has posed enormous amount of challenge and risk for organizations, for the employers and employees alike. COVID-19 cast a new light on people at work and society, making HR managers to refocus on more human-centric approaches in HRM, addressing the physical, mental, and emotional health, adapting to new working styles, compliances with ongoing guidelines, ensuring continuous support. Having said all these, CAF felt there is increased amount of need to discuss about this topic with a veteran HR professional, Mr. A. Rajan Babu, co-founder, Director, Human Relations, Arghaa HR Technologies. Today, our guest will be taking us through on the human aspect of human resource management. He is someone who possesses over 3 decades of experience in human relations management. He was also a general manager HR with NSK ABC Bearing Limited until 2016 before he ventured into HR consulting. He is also a very popular person in the HR fraternity because of the HR forum that he runs by name Shad, which has conducted over 115 plus programs on a monthly basis over the past decade. He is also the go-to person for anything and everything related to HR, IR, and more specifically, any labor law amendments, GO, so on and so forth. I'm so happy and glad to welcoming Dr. Rajan Babu, sir. Sir, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Good evening, Mani, and it is a pleasure. And I'm happy that you're trying to create some changes, right? So normally the support is more like change should happen from yourself rather than making others to change. And I think wish you all the best. And then thank you for giving this opportunity. And whatever best, right? Whatever I know, or I'll not say I'm a master of all things. Whatever best I know, then I'll definitely share with you. And it was good that only you're talking about the pandemic that is now prevailing, right? So to me, is like what I would always suggest is let's not look at it as a challenge. Like the moment you look at this as a challenge, what happens is your feeling is something different. But at the same time, when you say no, it is an opportunity for all of us. There's a different kind of feeling. So what I would like to say or spend time with you is let's talk about this pandemic as an opportunity for all of us, right?
Yes.
And of course, this pandemic, though one side it is something different, but it is teaching us a lot of lessons, right? And first is the pandemic has helped us to meet online. This itself is something very fun. But again, what is happening, the personal connect is not there. Though we see each other, but the personal connect is always not there, right? So what I would like to say is of course, some challenges are there. At the same time, if the challenges are considered as opportunities, I think it is always fine, and then you're always what do you call is comfortable. So it is so one is challenges when you look at it now, what is happening is now it is on the cost front, right? Okay, balancing the cost, then again retaining the talents, whatever is there, and then finally is make the biggest challenge is making our team to understand what the present situation is. Because now what happens is normally we have all used to a kind of situation where something is said, but something happens. Right today it is something different, no? We all see what is happening in a real time picture. We all see what is happening, but still making understand people is something very, very important, right? And what I would like to say here is at this particular moment of this pandemic situation, the most important thing is communication, right? The more you're going to communicate, the more the benefits that you're going to have. It is not, you cannot hide something and say that, okay, no, this is what is happening. No, it is not. You cannot do that at all, because what happens, whatever you say is immediately transformed or transferred to somebody else through some media. So here now what happens is you'll have to be more very honest and transparent on whatever is happening. You'll have to tell whatever it is. Very honest and transparent communication is very, very, very must to at this particular function. You cannot be hiding. You'll have to concentrate. Communicate. So that's very, very, very important. And the communication plays a very, very important role. You'll have to talk in such a way that people understand. And understanding alone is not there, but what happens is the trust needs to be created. For example, I'm now running the plant, right? I'll have to bring people from other places. So what is happening? The more transparent and honest communication I give, you're going to attract people to come to my place, right? Otherwise, what happens is, like they'll say that, okay, sir, you all tell something, nothing is happening here, so we cannot come. So we have all these kind of problems happening here. I've been hearing a lot of things like, you send vehicles till their places, they say that they come, but suddenly they don't come. It is all like fear or the trust. They miss. To me, is like the trust is missing there, right? Okay, when a company is, I've worked there for some time, I know what it is happening, and suddenly you are bringing in a change, and then it is not being communicated well. Then the biggest issue is there. So here, it is like transparent communication, honest communication is very, very must. And one step ahead is like, like today you might require to talk to their parents also, because today we have a lot of youngsters here and they say, yes, I'm ready to come. But what happens, unfortunately, the parents say, இப்போ எல்லாருக்கும் உள்ள பிரச்சனை தான். இப்போ நீங்களும் வேலைக்கு போகணும், நானும் வேலைக்கு போகணும்னா ஏன் போறீங்க, என்ன போறீங்க அப்படின்ற பிரச்சனை நம்ம வீட்டுல இருந்தே கிளம்புது. Because that is the panic that is created outside, right? So if required, then I think we'll have to talk to their parents also, like tell them that, okay, this is what we have done. We have taken all precautions here. So we'll take care. We are like a family, we'll take care. And that, those kind of, right? No, not sweet coated words. Please understand. And I quote, no sweet coated words. It has to be very honest and transparent transaction between us and the family members or the members working with it. So communication plays a very, very important role. And the second one is, like we'll have to listen to people, right? So today what is happening, me alone cannot take any decisions. Today, like we require all the people, right? And be it the bottom line or the top line, we require a lot of what do you call ideas that needs to be generated from the people. So here what needs to be done is like you'll have to listen to people. You'll have to ask for suggestions. So what is happening? What needs to be done in this period? See, one side is this COVID-19, one side is your business, and one side you'll have to run the plant. So all three factors are there. So all these three factors, like what needs to be done, or exactly like enna pananum ponu varnum அப்படின்றத பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, once unless and until you talk to people, you get some ideas generated, it is not going to happen, right? And the third important point is one that you'll have to work together, right? You'll have to bring people, all work people together. It maybe like, for example, if you have a union in the plant or a works committee in the plant or an employees, you'll have to talk to employees, find out what best can be done. For example, I'll just tell you a situation. If it should not happen, right? In a factory, it should not happen. Suppose somebody gets affected with COVID-19. How is that we're going to solve the situation? If a transparent discussion happens, what happens is the people also come forward to support you. If it is not happening, what happens is, like everybody stands against it, right? And then they say that no, everybody has to be tested, everybody has to done, and we have a lot of issues coming inside. So unless and until transparent communication and understanding is there, I think half of the issues can be solved. Okay, so this is a very important thing that we need to do, work together, listen to people, what they're saying, generate some ideas, okay, and be honest and transparent in your communications. Might be if these three things are being followed across the levels, right? It is not only HR, and if everything is being followed or it is talked, discussed, and we spend some quality time with people, we get a lot of ideas. Today, people will come out and tell you openly, like instead of you struggling and to say that, oh, I'm going to cut salary, people will come and tell you that, so let us have a salary. Okay, so things should move in such a direction that it should not be a threat to them. It should be a kind of support that you're extending to them. Okay, so that kind of, the atmosphere has to be created. And that's very, very important today in this kind of situation where one is like empathy is very, very important, right? You'll have to get connected with people. And for me, what I understand now is like the more emotional connect you have with people, the half of the problem is going to get solved. So without that, what happens is otherwise, a day in, day out, you're going to have a lot of issues inside the factory or office. Everybody is going to come and question. So one question I would like to put out to you, like, you're calling me to work. என்ன கூப்பிடுறீங்க, வேலைக்கு வாங்கன்னு என்ன கூப்பிடுறீங்க சார், நான் வேலைக்கெல்லாம் வரது ரெடி சார். எனக்கு COVID-19 வந்தா நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? What will you do? So what is the answer for this? What is the answer for this? You don't have an answer. You cannot give an answer immediately, right? So this is a situation we are here. Unless and until you're going to have an emotional connect with people, right? Yeah, it's not going to happen, right? If you're going to have good connect, what happens is like your trust is going to be built. Once your trust is built, okay, நம்ம சார் சொல்றாரு, நம்ம மக்கள், நம்ம கம்பெனி எல்லாம் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க, நம்ம நம்பிக்கையோட வரலாம் அப்படின்றது, that feeling would be created. Okay, so I think this is very, very important. What I would like to tell people, and similarly is like I think there's a lot of pressure on cost also for all the people. So you'll have to think in a different way, like. And the other biggest challenge or challenge, I'll say, not an opportunity, like bringing people. Right? That's a big problem for all of us now. Like people down south. Now we had a lot of people from down south coming and working, and today things all have changed. Chennai is becoming better, Kanjipuram is becoming better, but at the same time, what happens down south, things are in a different situation now. So the fear, previously it was like coming to Chennai was a fear. Now from moving out of air price itself is a fear. So how is that going to happen? So that's a big question, right? So here we'll have to see like how we can connect with people, tell them that okay, all instructions, all precautions have been taken. So here another important thing, what I would like to suggest is like an employee talking to an employee creates a lot of effect, right? For employee கிட்ட சொல்றாரு அப்படின்னும் போது வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா it becomes a big impact. So here the brand ambassadors becomes our employees, our staff supervisors. They will have to talk to people, tell them that okay, all these things we have done, this is what is happening, we have taken all the precautions. Even if the worst case, if something happens, the management is ready to take care of all the other aspects, take care of you in a way better way, and all those things. If it is created, then it is fine. Okay, so on the other part is like cost is there, like cost. So one is like we have been spending a lot of money on pandemic situations. So a lot of cost is being spent. So again, like I think in future, I think all HRs, right, a lot to be prepared to answer all those questions, right? Once the situation solves, and everybody has to be ready to see like how you're going to bring down the cost. So my request to all of you is like start working right from now, right? Look at the shift operations, whether you can make it as like two shifts in a day, 12 hours, make it for 4 days, close down the factory for 3 days. So what happens is like 48 hours you're working as per statute, and 3 days you're saving on overhead expenses. So these kind of things when you think of and start working, I think. But whatever you do, whatever changes you want to bring, my humble request to all of you is talk to your people first. Please convey whatever you want, or whatever you want to bring, or whatever you want to do is like talk to your people, whether it is union or it is works committee or your employees, whether it is staff members, whoever it is, like talk to them and get their opinion. Like okay, the more you talk, the more things are getting shared. I think it will become easy for you to bring a change or implement things. Otherwise, what happens? A lot of resistance is there. Some people, yes, till today also, like they're not worried about COVID-19. Like it is only for them they look at. But you'll have to look at like as a HR, what happens? You'll have to be little, come out of your normal working. Right? You'll have to come out of your normal working. You have to come out of your normal working, and then you'll have to be slightly different from what you were earlier. That's very, very important. Otherwise, it's become very difficult for all of us, and you'll always be under stress. So today, what is happening? The moment you're coming in the morning, you always see like, okay, somebody is affected by COVID, then the pressure gets diverted. Then again, you'll have to bring people. Then one guy gets, then 4 guys, 5 guys, 10 guys, and all these things happen. Unless and until you are prepared for all to meet all these things, definitely it is there. And okay, so 3 important things I would like to tell all of, whether you're a leader, HR, or whatever it is. 3 things are very, very important. One is like you'll have to have the courage now. You cannot be like sitting in a corner. You'll have to have a courage to face the unexpected things that is happening around, and empathy to connect, not with people, to connect with the problems or find solutions. And last but not the least is like you'll have to have not just lip-to-lip conversation. It has to be from heart to heart. Okay, unless and until you have that connect, I don't think like and if all these things are being followed, I think when we have no issues at all, and things all will go smoothly, and absolutely no pressure, no stress on you. You can work as comfortable as possible. So this is my opinion, and I would like to again continue if some questions are there.
Yes. So in fact, I came up with this the human side of HR, just to cover certain aspects of this COVID situation. But what happened is you've taken totally the conversation by storm by completely giving 100% context to the title chosen, by talking about the trust, the communication, transparency, listening, and the honesty that is required at work. And not only that, the changing role of HR. The HR has to do a complete introspection and look into the mirror and come up with why you do what you do. The purpose itself is getting redefined for an HR professional. And also you said 3 different things. One is courage, empathy, and heart-to-heart connect. I think beyond this, there is nothing that is required to tide over this challenge. I think it is, as you said, it is a temporary setback, and we are on it. And it is time that we work together. Also, this you mentioned that you all have to work together instead of passing on the accountability to someone. Be it the stakeholder as an employer or the regulatory statutory organizations, the unions, works committee, HR. I think broadly you've covered all aspects in just about 15 minutes of the entire the opening remarks. Thank you so much, sir. And so I have few questions. Probably I think I will ask, but some of the points that you've already covered. How are the companies prepared, sir? Because it is not just about the human resource managers who is not thinking about the human side of it. How are the employers prepared for this? Because they are also going through a phenomenal pressure, a very severe pressure in terms of, as you mentioned, the cost cutting, increasing the productivity, managing the business markets. So everything is affected because of this. How are the companies prepared in your experience?
No. One is see, today what is happening, you cannot do anything on your own also. With respect to what do you call this pandemic situation. So you'll have to follow all your guidelines that is there. But over and above, what we normally suggest to people is don't just alone follow that, right? Okay, take little more precautionary measures. So following set of SOPs is something different. But creating, again, I'm coming back to the same trust that is being created, right? So if I come inside, what will happen to me? Yes, my company takes care of me. What? Okay. So certain things like whatever is not prescribed, you also do it. So this is what we normally suggest to people is certain things where you can improve your immune system. Today, what is happening is your immune systems need to be improved. So for that, we have suggested a lot of things what happened, simple things like have saltwater goggling. So nobody does this, right? So you do it at home, but you do it at factory also. When the moment you come here, if you have lot number of people, what you do is not do it in phased manner. Today 100 people, tomorrow 100 people, day after tomorrow 100 people. Once in 3 days, what you do is have a saltwater goggling. Change your food systems. A lot of things are happening on the food systems. There we had today what is happening, more concentration is being done on foodstuffs that is being provided to improve your immune system. So today, since you don't have medicine or whatever it is, one is you'll have to build trust and confidence within yourself. Okay, I'm ready to face this COVID-19. You will have to live with this COVID-19 for some time. Absolutely, yes. There's no doubt in that. But at the same time, is rather than just not following your hand washing, sanitizing, and keeping all your place, instead people have started working on these areas also, increasing the immune system of the employees. So what happens? They give a lot of tablets, whatever is prescribed, the tablets are being given. So what happens is, when I come inside as a fresher today, the company that itself creates it creates a lot of confidence with you. When I've done all these things. So we have also suggested certain ideas. And another request to all of them is don't, we always have a small habit, once things come to normal, we forget. Okay, so that should not happen for some time. At least for next 3-4 months, we'll have to be very careful. We should ensure that okay, these practices are being followed. And what I feel is it is always very hard when you start something, but when you start practicing it, it becomes a habit. The habit becomes a character. Okay, so all these days we were asking people to wash hands, but it did not happen. Today it has become mandated that you'll have to wash hands. So what happens inside the factory, when you come inside, you're coming clean now, right? So all these practices, I think definitely it will help. And companies now, of course, yes. And one more thing that what we stress is I think some companies are following this, what I've heard, but we also suggest a lot of things. Home to office and office to home protocol has to be followed very strictly.
Okay.
Okay, so that's very, very important. Because every night, office I should not go out anywhere now for some time, unless and until it is required. Okay, when I'm coming from there, from office to factory, I should not go out here and there. So we have a bad habit. Once we come out of the office, go have a tea, then we go out for some smoking or something like that. We go into some places. So all these things should be avoided. And similarly, what happens, it is not only for you, your family also has to be taken care of. So whatever immune system that is being done, you'll have to also inculcate that habit for your family. So office la mattum na pannittu irpen, veetla la na panna maata அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் கிடையாது, வீட்லயும் அது பண்ணணும். So home to office and office to home protocol, if it is followed strictly, I think pressure will be little less. So these things, a few things, apart from whatever SOPs that is being given by government, so little extra you'll have to do it. And one more request to all of them is you can always have you have separate teams that is happening, right? And some people, I think they're also following this. So normally what happens your thermal temperature is scanned only twice, when you're coming inside and when you're going outside. But we suggest as well as some companies do it independent, do it in between also So what happens now, like if somebody is not feeling well, you are able to identify, not at the end of the shift, but in between itself, you can identify and bring them and give them some rest and identify what it is, so that it further escalations can be prevented. So, and the other one is like you can always have an audit that is being performed to ensure that your SOPs are being followed. And lastly, if things are not happening, definitely yes, it has to be a disciplinary action. இதில் வந்துட்டு என்ன தயவு ஆச்சுன்னே இருக்கக்கூடாது. அதாவது ஃபாலோ பண்ணல அப்படின்ற பட்சத்தில் இருந்ததுன்னா, in spite of all the warnings that is being given, if it is not followed அப்படின்னாக்கா definitely it has to go in for disciplinary action. Because one people getting affected, it is not just one person, right? So if one person is getting affected, the entire line, for example, one line is getting affected, the entire line is getting affected.
Entire population.
So one person's pressure is always diverted into other people. அதே மாதிரி இதில் வந்துட்டு வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங்னா, எம்ப்ளாயீஸ் ஆல்சோ லைக் வெதர் மீ ஆர் யூ ஹூவர் இஸ் கமிங், we should also be honest in telling that, okay, so this is what is happening with me. I'm slightly not feeling well. You should not hide. So this is not the place to hide. And similarly, like on the shop floor, if people come and address, like, okay, sir, இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு, எனக்கு தலைவலியா இருக்கு, இல்ல எனக்கு ஒரு மாதிரி லைட்டா ஃபீவரிஷ் இருக்குனாக்கா, supervisor also have to behave in a different way now. They cannot be doing it. அதெல்லாம் எனக்கு தெரியாது, நீ முடிச்சிட்டு தான் போகணும் அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் இப்ப சொல்ல முடியாது. So they'll have to immediately inform the concerned person. They'll have to take them quarantine, check what is happening. If it is okay, then allow them back. Otherwise, they'll have to take next action. So all these preventive measures, simply if I put in one word, be proactive, not reactive.
Okay.
Whatever it is, like be proactive, not reactive.
Right. And also, sir, a lot of the modern industries, they're going for remote working. And this is posing a lot of issues in terms of family life, extended working hours. I'm talking from employee aspect. Probably you can give a employer or HR aspect to it. So what generally happens is they work extended hours, number one. Number two, this teamwork is happening online. So this collaboration, the entire collaboration is only through remote access. So how does it help, or how does the productivity, whether the productivity is enhanced or is it affected? So what is your view on this, sir?
See, honestly telling, as I said before itself, like we have all this connect, right? So the personal connect is missing. First point. So in office la onna உட்கார்ந்து வேலை செய்யறதும், நான் ஆஃப்லைன்ல வந்து வேலை எங்கேயோ உட்கார்ந்து நான் ஒர்க் பண்றதும் வந்து it is totally different. First point, right? But today what is happening now, it is the game changer, I can tell. Like, okay, so we had an work from home பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்ததுல வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா, it is now happening. But my request to all of them is like, from an employer, as a part of employer, what I would suggest is like whatever you're doing inside, when you're doing it has to be followed here also. Like, okay, some little extended hours is okay. Like you'll have to give them some time to spend with families also. Like, right, I'm also facing the same situation here, but I cannot tell. Right, okay, the same situation is being faced here also. Like, so you get calls, right? What happens now, it becomes a liberty. Like, இப்போ எந்த நேரத்தில் வேணாலும் நம்ம கூப்பிட்டா நம்ம ஆன்சர் பண்ண போறோம், நம்ம செய்ய போறோம் அப்படின்றதுல இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம், அந்த ரிமோட் ஏரியா ஒர்க்கிங் போது வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங்னா, ஐ பர்சனலி ஐம் நாட் ஷுர், பட் மை ஃபீலிங் இஸ் லைக் அந்த ஃபியர் நிறைய இருக்குன்னு ஒரு பயம் இருக்கு. நான் எதாவது செய்யலன்னா எனக்கு எதாவது ஆயிடுமா, வில் ஐ லூஸ் மை ஜாப்? So I think that is making everybody to work little extra also. Like, I don't think I think that's a big, and especially youngsters, right? And they all know that, okay, today if I lose my job, it's going to be very difficult. I think with a lot of pressure, I think it is happening. It's like online classes, like, so we do it and give, and it becomes what happens the other side is people also are slightly lethargic, right? Okay, now online, then we'll do it little later. It is something different when you were doing in office. Like office, you were there under somebody who's looking at you. Today, it is something different. So if I think people are working in the time and finishing the project within time and delivering it, I think that things all will be fine. But அதே சமயத்துல வந்து I think we should have a clear-cut policy for working from home, right? Facilities have to be provided. அதே சமயத்துல வந்து you should not extend hours, right? You should allow people also like to spend time with families. So அதெல்லாம் இல்லாம வந்து we have seen a lot of funny things happening, like suddenly the call comes and immediately everybody gets ready and then come. So அது வந்து artificial, it should not come, right? It should come natural. Like, okay, நம்ம ஆஃபீஸ் ஒர்க் பண்றோம், அந்த ஃபீல் வந்துட்டு I think it will take some time, but definitely like it will take some time definitely to come into that. Okay, 9 o'clock நம்ம ஆஃபீஸ் we have to come and attend. So இப்போ என்ன 9:30 அவங்க கூப்பிட்டுருமே, let them call, then we go. So that attitude should not be there. I think if you want to check in at 9 o'clock, you'll have to do it at 9 o'clock. Work should be made prepared and then close by 5 o'clock. If at all something is very urgent, like office when we work, you can sit and work till little late night, but not every day. So I think this is creating something. The fear is there. I think that fear has to be brought out. எல்லாருக்கும் அந்த பயம் இருக்கு. வீட்ல வந்து வேலை செஞ்சு நமக்கு ஏதாவது வந்து நம்ம கொடுக்கலனா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு.
So this working from home and so this working from home is not very specific to a sector. I'm not talking about information technology. Most of the manufacturing or any other industry for that matter, எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் வீட்ல இருந்து வேலை பார்க்க முடியும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்கோ, எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி நேச்சர் ஆஃப் ஜாப் இருக்கோ, எல்லாருமே இப்போ வந்து ரிமோட்ல தான் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. Moreover, people who have left the state, who have left Tamil Nadu, who have left the city or gone to different parts of their places or their native, they have not come back. Till date, they have not come back. So it has already forced them to work from home. So that is the reason why I asked you about the productivity, how it's affected. It is okay.
No. See, adula vandittu enna, yeah, absolutely not. You cannot like what you call sitting at home. You cannot just deviate or then you cannot go away. You'll have to definitely perform. So that way, like what happens is like only one particular thing is what happens is like direct connect மட்டும் தான் மிஸ் ஆயிடுது. Okay, I'll get back to you அப்படின்னு சொல்லிடுறோம். அவ்வளவுதான் முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. இங்க வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா we start running and doing it. So அங்க வரும்போது என்ன we are not able to connect என்ற மாதிரி. See, the biggest problem now working from home is like even now I had the problem. Suddenly there was a power cut. I was not able to connect. சரியா? So அப்ப வரும்போது what happens na it goes under wrong impression. Even நம்ம கட் பண்ணானே போறானே அப்படின்னு சொல்லி he's not attending or he's not doing it. But of course productivity பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் வந்து please understand IT I'm not sure, but manufacturing பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னாக்கா வந்துட்டு non production related தான் வந்து they are sitting at home and working. Okay, they have the same pressure. Absolutely, they have the same pressure. For example, if you take a purchase guy who's working in from home அப்படின்னாக்கா he has to ensure that all the materials are coming. So இங்க வந்து what was happening na he was shouting, he was running behind inside the factory. Now he is running from home. Okay, so inga varumbodhu enna he was physically able to understand the material has come. So anga varumbodhu he has to believe somebody that the material has come or not. So if he says that material has come abdinaka he has to believe that okay, material has come. If it has not come abdinaka it has not come. Adhe mari if suppose material has come, nobody has attended it to, it is already come lying in a particular place abdinumbodhu pathina again he has to drive somebody and then see that, ask them to go and look at it. So all these issues will be there, but definitely I don't think productivity ஏன்னா இப்போ மேனுஃபேக்சரிங்கை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் வந்து வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ்னா வந்துட்டு all these things are talked about வந்து the guys who do the production, right? So once they have all the material, everything is there, might be yes, absolutely no issues, but the pressure is always there. And definitely I think there is a slight effect in what you are doing normally sitting in office and working from home. This is respect to manufacturing. I'm not telling about IT, I'm not sure about IT, but manufacturing I think definitely yes. And I've seen people know like enna sir eppa par meeting itself. When you are in office, you had little meeting, but here what happens, a lot of time is being spent on meeting itself. What happened. And some people I've seen, like, whenever I call them, they say that 10 o'clock, I say the meeting, then 2 o'clock when I say still meeting is happening. So all these things are happening. I think online meeting, you should not have too much of things. You'll have to allow people to work also. So you should cut short and then see what is happening. So that's very important.
In our case, for HR, excuse me, training is one of the key function in HR. So, safety in பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இல்ல health related பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நம்ம வந்து drills, safety drills இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணுவாங்க இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ்ல. So COVID பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் யாருக்குமே be it any stakeholder is not prepared for this. That is the fact. In fact, we are going through a lot of questions. In fact, we ourselves is not sure which guideline to follow, whether it is ILO or WHO, MHA or Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Every guidelines vandite irukku, and there are enormous amount of information available in the market, in the authorities. So idukella who is doing this, sir? Are we employing a permanent doctor to do this? I'm talking to you because you know what is happening at least in the Sriperumbudur belt, which is considered to be the hub of manufacturing in Chennai. So how it is happening in real time in the organizations when it comes to assessing or testing the patients or even screening them. Sorry, that's the right word to use, in screening the employees.
See, one what is happening now, like you will have to follow the guidelines, what is being specified, because normally what happens now in India, if you see whatever government of India is giving, Tamil Nadu is just recopying it, pasting it, okay, with slight changes. So அவங்க e-pass வேண்டாம்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னா இவங்க e-pass வச்சுப்பேன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Certain, because what happens is certain areas the state governments, respective state governments have been given authority to decide what is it, right? So whatever is happening when related to working in industry or opening the factory, what happens, the guidelines are common. So whatever government of India is giving and whatever state government is giving, so whatever it is there. But my request is, or my suggestion, or my thought would be, is this just my thought, right? Idiom Thandi, you can always do something to create what do you call என்ன சொல்லலாம் வந்து எம்ப்ளாயிக்கு நல்ல கான்ஃபிடன்ஸோ இல்லை ஒரு கோவிட் இல்லை என் கம்பெனிக்கு வந்தோன்னா கோவிட் இல்லை அப்படின்றதுக்கு இதை தாண்டியே நம்ம நிறைய பண்ணலாம் அது. ஸோ கைட்லைன்ஸ்ன்றது வந்துட்டு ரூல் இஸ் அ ரூல், ரைட்? ஸோ அந்த ரூலை தாண்டி வந்து we can always do something extra. So it all depends upon the company's management. So இந்த ஸ்கிரீனிங் மட்டுமே வந்துட்டுனா what is happening na, screening alone is not important. You have to identify, right? Okay, like what is happening. ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம நார்மலாக என்ன பண்ணுறோம்னா டெம்பரேச்சர். இப்போ வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா இன்னொரு ஒரு சின்ன ரிக்வெஸ்ட் என்ன அப்படின்னாக்கா, இந்த பர்டிகுலர் டைம்ல வந்துட்டுனா we should not look at numbers alone. நம்பர்ஸ் நான் சொல்றது வந்து ஐ ஹோப் யூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், ரைட்? ஆல் வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். நம்பர்ஸ் மட்டுமே நம்ம பார்க்க கூடாது, ரைட்? இப்போ வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா as I earlier said வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா it has to be a heart and heart connect, right? இப்போ நீ வந்தனா எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் செஞ்சு கொடுப்பா, எனக்கு வந்து இந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்கு, you have to help us out, we have helped you, we are also helping you, you also help us out. ஸோ அதுல நமக்கு என்ன தேவையோ அதை வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து we'll have to do it. அதை வந்து பண்றதுல வந்துட்டு absolutely not an issue. ஸோ இந்த இடத்துல வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து அதிகாரம், ரூல்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் தவிர வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா மனித நேயம்ன்றது வந்துட்டுனா இட் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இப்போ ஏன்னா டுடே வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங்னா, இஃப் தட் இஸ் மிஸ்ஸிங் அப்படின்னும் போது, இஃப் ஒன் எம்ப்ளாயி கோஸ் அவுட் அண்ட் டெல்ஸ் தட் வந்து இல்லை இந்த கம்பெனியில் இந்த மாதிரிலாம் பண்றாங்க போறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டோம் அப்படின்னாக்கா வந்துட்டு வர்றவங்களும் வராமல் போயிடுவாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க என்னதான் ப்ரெஷர் கொடுத்து பண்ணாலும் வந்துட்டுனா people will not come. Okay, the brand image is getting disturbed. So அதுல வந்துட்டுனா you have to look at these areas. So SOPs வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா it is common. என்ன பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் இன்னொரு சஜஷன் என்ன கொடுப்பேன் அப்படின்னா, you can have a audit checklist, right? So audit வந்துட்டுனா you can always perform. It might be internally you can perform, or externally you can call somebody and then வந்துட்டு ask for, because what happens na internal வந்து பார்க்கும்போது என்னன்னா நம்ம பண்ணதே தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்போம். அது so external வரும்போது என்னன்னா you can always look at whether you are adhering to SOPs and little extra. So the audit எப்படி இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னா, it should not be a fault finding, right? நீங்க இதெல்லாம் பண்ணவே இல்லை, இதெல்லாம் செய்யவே இல்லை, கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃபீஸர் மாதிரிலாம் வரக்கூடாது. ஸோ அது வரும்போது ஆடிட் வந்து அச்சிகேட் சொல்யூஷன். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் நீங்க பண்ணுங்க, இந்த மாதிரிலாம் செஞ்சீங்க அப்படின்னா நல்லா இருக்கும். ஸோ திஸ் வில் ஹெல்ப் பீப்புள் கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் இன்னும் பில்ட் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சோம்னா, யூ கேன் ஆல்வேஸ் டூ லிட்டில் மோர் தேன் வாட் கவர்மெண்ட் சேஸ். கவர்மெண்ட் எஸ்ஓபிஸோட இப்போ நீங்க வந்து வரீங்க அப்படின்னும் போது வந்துன்னா ஓகே, ஒன் ஹவர் பிஃபோர் வர சொல்லுங்க, எல்லாரையும் ரெஸ்ட் எடுக்க சொல்லுங்க, கொஞ்ச நேரம் நல்லா ஹேண்ட் வாஷ் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க. ஐ ஹேவ் வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா சம் டெஸ்ட் பீப்புள். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வரும்போது என்ன, லாட் ஆஃப் டுடே ரூல்ஸ், கவர்மெண்ட் ரூல்ஸ் இட் செல்ஃப் இஸ் வெரி கிளியர், நோ, லைக் யூ ஹேவ் டு ஹேவ் அ டாக்டர். ஸோ வாட் இஸ் தேர்? அப்போ வரும்போது என்ன, டாக்டர் வந்து வி மைட் பி ஹெச்ஆர் இஸ் நாட் குட் இன் வாட் யூ கால், இந்த மெடிக்கல் சைட்ல குட் நாட் பி வந்துட்டு என்ன பண்ண முடியாது. அப்போ வந்து யூ கேன் ஹேவ் தி டாக்டர்ஸ் அட்வைஸ், யூ கேன் ஆல்சோ பிரிங் ஹிம். தட் இஸ் வாட் ஐ செட், நோ, ஒர்க் டுகெதர். இட் இஸ் நாட் ஒன்லி ஹெச்ஆர். So bring the doctor also. So what I would suggest here is, no, in the temporary vandituna forget about all your policies, make a separate policy for COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 we have different categories of people working now. One is working continuously, one is in containment zone, right? இன்னொருத்தர் வந்துட்டு என்ன வரணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறாருன்னா டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் இல்ல, என்ன பண்ண போற? அதே மாதிரி ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம். இப்போ என்ன ஆயிடும் அப்படின்னாக்கா, மணி நீ வந்து யூ ஒர்க்கிங் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம், ஐ எம் கமிங் அண்ட் ஒர்க்கிங் ஹியர், எனக்கும் உனக்கும் ஒரே மாதிரியா? Okay, so these kind of issues should not come. So appo vandittu enna, very clear, containment zone na I'll pay you only X amount. If you are willing to come, I'll pay you only X, because people are required, right? Iniki vandittu enna vandu just like that you cannot be sending people. And my question to all of you is vandittu, tomorrow if the market revives, iniki nee venaan soltinga, tomorrow vandittu enna vandu market revives, what are you going to do? Okay, so you cannot push people this time. In the net la vandittu enna vandu, I think vandittu Ratan Tata was very clear, giving layoff to people, and I'm also dead against that. You can look at ways where you save money. There are a lot of ways. I still remember when I was working in 2008, no, like recession period, there's a lot of pressure, but we did not do anything. We changed the shift pattern. Okay, 20 years of work on it in the shift pattern here, total maatno. We work for 5 days. We reduced a lot of overtime expenses. We started working on a lot of improvement activities. So on the time when I free time, we were able to attack on perennial quality problems. So adanaala productivity automatically improved. So in the mari you can look at, and finally if it is not possible, talk to everybody, they'll give you a suggestion. Have a 20% salary cut for next 6 months. Okay, 20% or 30% salary cut next 6 months kaduthinga. So what is happening, you're not losing people, but instead but adhe samayathila what I suggest, if people are leaving or if people are not good, if they're not turning up, okay, leave them. Don't give any replacements. Don't give replacements. Look at people internally itself. Yaara nee develop panna mudiyum po mudiyumradhu parunga. Once that is there, what is happening, you are also able to develop multi skill. So I think these things, if you are able to do it, I think things all will be fine. And to me, honestly, is not, this is only temporary. Okay, might be like 2 or next 2-3 months. If you're going to live with it, then what happens? No, like my humble request to all of us, this should not be forgotten. Like what we did in 2008 till 2009, we were all very smart, working very cost consciously. Once everything improved, now we started forgetting about the cost conscious. So நல்லா போகும்போது எதை பத்தியும் கவலைப்படவே இல்லை. மோசமா வரும்போது தான் we started thinking about it. இது அப்படியே இல்லாம வந்து இது அப்படியே கண்டினியூ பண்ணி what we have to do is we'll have to do this as a practice. So இது practice-ஆ கொண்டு போயிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா I think lot of savings can happen. Future-ல will not be வந்து என்னன்னா, I remember my good friend Alan telling me, don't be surprised by surprises. Okay.
So, yeah, you said right, sir. Illnesses causes, when the illnesses causes absenteeism or higher level of attrition, whether the other employees are cross-trained to manage the productivity or perform the multiple tasks. I think that also, along with the very crisis situation, along with the challenges that the pandemic poses, there are a lot of opportunities that are thrown. From the way that you're talking, some of the points that I'm hearing, I think there are a lot of opportunities for us to work together, and it will increase the camaraderie among the employees. Be the safety officer or welfare officer and HR or doctors, employees, all working together will definitely, I think it will pave way for us to be more cohesive and united. That's something that I think I understand from you. And I want you to talk on one particular thing which is very important, sir, the stigma. Generally, be it organizations or in a very common outside the organizations, what generally feel is when somebody is affected with the illness, he is seen with a very different mindset, or if we talk about him behind his back. So what is your suggestions or advice to the HR managers to facilitate this process or communicate the right messages to all the employees so that it sends out the right message across to the employees in overcoming the stigma?
No, see, yes, you're right. Like normally it is not only in factories, other people all, because the hype that has been created, right? Okay, COVID வந்துச்சுன்னா எல்லாருக்கும் வந்துரும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு எங்க இருந்தோ போய் கூட்டு வந்துட்டாரு அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீலிங் அது. பட் அந்த மாதிரி கிடையாது அது, ரைட்? Okay, so this is what I said, like in the beginning itself, if you remember, there has to be a transparent communication with the people, right? So and this is one of the important point. ஒருத்தருக்கு வந்து தெரியாம வந்து கோவிட் வந்துருச்சு அப்படின்னாக்கா, how are we supposed to treat them? Okay, so அதுல வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா, HR வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து very very important. He has to take the lead. ஒரு கம்பெனில வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து I don't want to mention, but அங்க பேசும்போது என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா, we were not in the front அப்படின்ற மாதிரி கேள்விப்பட்டேன். I was really surprised. Okay, a lot of people were affected, but we were not in the front. The plant head and CEO were sitting in the plant. Oh, so அது மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது வந்து today we have a very very important role, because வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா, we are the people who can emotionally connect with people. ப்ரொடக்ஷன்ல பேசுறதோட மக்கள் வந்துட்டு என்ன HR கிட்ட தான் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா ஃப்ரீயா வந்து பேசுவாங்க. So அந்த மாதிரி வரும்போது வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து you have to talk to people, tell them that this is not, create lot of awareness. That is very important. So COVID வந்து like வந்துட்டுனா it will only 14 days இருக்கு. அந்த 14 days வந்த உடனே we'll have to receive people. So see what is happening now. A good example I'll tell you. Police department, it is happening now. Somebody returns from COVID, like what they do is they put a shawl, they give a bouquet, and then they receive them. So everybody is there, they go along with them. Right, so those kind of small things, like you can always do. Like, so what happens, he also feels very happy, and he's after all our friend. We'll have to support. So on the field, on the HR, I think has a very very what I will do is what I can suggest, go to Gemba, talk to people, tell them நாளைக்கு உனக்கு எனக்கு வந்தாலும் அதே பிரச்சனை தான்ப்பா. ஸோ அதனால நம்ம அந்த மாதிரி பண்ண வேண்டாம், வந்துருச்சு, ரைட், ஓகே, லெட் அஸ் சீ லைக் வில் சப்போர்ட் ஹிம். அந்த நேரத்தில் வந்துட்டு சப்போர்ட்டிவ் அப்படின்றதா இருக்கணுமே தவிர we should not run away. ஸோ அதை வந்துட்டுனா வந்து you have to talk to people, communicate in the beginning itself. ஒன்று வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா, we should not get that first. அப்படியே வந்துச்சுன்னா what we are supposed to do, we'll have to support them. அவங்க ஃபேமிலியெல்லாம் பேசணும். சில பேர்லாம் வந்துட்டு I was really happy, like when they said they were talking to them regularly, ஃபோன்ல ரெகுலரா பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க. So what is happening? So all these things should happen. ஸோ அதே மாதிரி அவங்க கொலீக்ஸை விட்டு பேச சொல்லணும். அது எப்படி இருக்கா, என்னடா எப்படா இருக்கா, போற வர ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் வேணா சொல்லு, நாங்க பண்றோம். அந்த கான்செப்ட், அதாவது நிறைய இடத்துல வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா, கோவிட் வந்துச்சுன்னு கொண்டு போய் கவர்மெண்ட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் விட்டு அப்படியே விட்டுறக்கூடாது. இட் இஸ் நாட் மை ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி, இந்த மாதிரி வரக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா we have brought them to work. It is our responsibility to ensure that when the till he gets cured, whether you're going to spend or not spend, that is different. Whether you're going to put him in a private hospital or you're going to put him in a government hospital, that's a different. But the personal care and the personal touch into the that is very very important. You have to talk to them, find out. Even recently when I was talking to one person, suddenly he told me, I was not aware. Then அதுக்கப்புறம் 2 days கழிச்சு ஃபோன் பண்ண, எப்படிப்பா இருக்கா, நல்லா இருக்கியா அப்படின்னா, ஆஃபீஸ் வந்துட்டேன் அப்படின்னா, ஓகே பார்த்துக்க பத்திரமா இரு அப்படின்னு. So அந்த மாதிரி what we do is when you talk to them, at least வந்து they feel okay, நம்மள யாரோ பேசுறதுக்கு இருக்காங்க, somebody is here to talk to us. பரவாயில்ல நம்ம பார்த்து. அதே மாதிரி அவங்க ஃபேமிலிக்கு நீங்க சப்போர்ட்டா கொடுக்கணும். ஏன்னா ஃபேமிலி தான் இப்போ மெயின் ப்ராப்ளம். ஃபேமிலி என்ன, வாட் தி ஃபேமிலி வில் டெல் us, no, you went to that factory, that's why COVID is come. ஸோ உன்னை மட்டும் கர்ஸ் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, ஃபேக்டரியும் சேர்த்து கர்ஸ் இது பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ இருக்கும்போது வந்துட்டு யூ ஹேவ் டு என்ஷூர் தட் இதில் இருக்கும். பட் என்னோட ரிக்வெஸ்ட் என்னன்னா, டாக் டு ஆல் தி பீப்புள், டெல் them that create lot of awareness. might be like you can call doctors, உங்க ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் உங்க ஃபேக்டரியிலே டாக்டர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்கன்னா might be you can have small meetings. என்ன கேட்டால் லார்ஜர் மீட்டிங்ஸோட வந்து ஸ்மால் குரூப் மீட்டிங்ஸ் போட்டு அதில் வந்து if you are able to communicate, அதே மெசேஜை வந்து it has to reach out. If 1000 employees are there, the same message should reach 1000 employees. ஸோ ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு மாதிரி இருக்கக்கூடாது. அப்போ வந்து க்ளோஸ் கான்டாக்ட்லன்னா அதுக்காக வந்து இப்போ நவ் யுவர் சோஷியல் டிஸ்டன்சிங் இஸ் தேர், யூ ஹேவ் டு மெயின்டைன் தட் சோஷியல் டிஸ்டன்சிங். அதில் வந்து யூ ஹேவ் டு அட்ரஸ் பீப்புள். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி இருக்க போது வருது. அண்ட் சிமிலர்லி வந்துட்டுன்னா யுவர் பிளான்ட் ஹெட் கேன் டாக். ஓப்பன் இது மீட்டிங் மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஆடியோ சிஸ்டம் ஏதாவது இருந்ததுன்னா பிளான்ட் ஹெட் கேன் டாக், ஹெச்ஆர் ஹெட் கேன் டாக், அவங்க எம்ப்ளாயிஸே பேசலாம் இந்த மாதிரி. அதே மாதிரி இன்னொன்று வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா, இது நிறைய பேர் பண்றது கிடையாது, பட் ஐ திங்க் தே கேன் டூ திஸ். somebody is coming after the treatment of COVID, so they are feeling comfortable அப்படின்னா they can share their experience. எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி வந்து நான் இந்த மாத்திரை எல்லாம் சாப்பிட்டேன், எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் குணமாயிடுச்சு, ஸோ நீங்களும் இதெல்லாம் எடுத்துக்க ஆரம்பிங்க. சப்போஸ் ப்ரிகாஷனரியா நீங்க இதெல்லாம் பண்ணீங்கன்னா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னும் போது வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ், that also creates lot of, today we don't find people coming and telling, right, except when I've just seen only one lady talking to her neighbor. that video alone was spread. எனக்கு ஒண்ணுமே பண்ணல, எனக்கு இதான் கொடுத்தாங்க அப்படின்னு. அது வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா, it will give lot of positive signs rather than telling that okay I've got cured and all, this is what happened to me, I'm now all right அப்படின்னும் போது you can allow him to talk. So அந்த மாதிரி பேசும்போது it becomes a good thing.
Yeah, he'll also be accepted by doing that.
அதே மாதிரி அவங்க you can receive with honor. நம்மளே வந்து அப்படின்னு சொல்லி வந்து you can bring people. So இதுல வந்துட்டு union can being brought to into confidence. So union guys can join us when you're welcoming them. ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயி இல்ல ஒர்க்ஸ் கமிட்டி யாரா இருந்தா ஒர்க்ஸ் கமிட்டி இல்ல எம்ப்ளாயிஸ்ல இருந்து ஒரு 2 பேர் இல்ல அவங்க கூட ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா யாரா 2 பேர் உள்ள வரும்போது வந்துட்டு அவங்க ரிசீவ் பண்றது. ஸோ அவனை வந்து இது பண்ணும்போது வந்து வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ் லைக் வந்து he also feels comfortable. ஏன்னா அவனுக்கே அந்த இது இருக்கும், ஐயோ நமக்கு வந்துச்சு, நம்ம கிட்ட எப்படி இதுல என்ன பிக் ப்ராப்ளம், வாட் தி பிக் ப்ராப்ளம் இஸ் நோ லைக் ஐ ஹவ் பீன் அஃபெக்டட் பை கோவிட் and I feel that வந்துன்னா okay whether people will talk to me or not talk to me. So அந்த இது வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து it always அதுவும் போயிடும். that also should not be there. So he should not get isolated by himself, no, like மத்தவங்க ஐசோலேட் பண்றாங்க, he should not get isolated. So இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன இதெல்லாம் பண்ணும்போது வந்துட்டு I think வந்துட்டு we can always be, and இந்த மெசேஜ் ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா கொடுக்கணும். what is happening now, you have to talk to your employees telling that he is also part of our team. நாளைக்கு உனக்கு எனக்கு வந்தாலும் அதே பிரச்சனை தான். ஸோ அந்த இது நம்ம பண்ணக்கூடாது. அவனை வந்து நல்லா வந்து இதை பண்ணணும், அவங்க கூட நல்லா பண்ணுங்க, நல்லா செய்யுங்க. ஸோ அவன் வந்து 100% கியூர் ஆயிட்டான் அப்படின்னும் போது அவன் he can share some good experiences. வரும்போது நான் பர்ஃபெக்ட் ஆல்ரைட், எனக்கு இந்த ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்லாம் கொடுத்தாங்க, நான் இப்போ ஆல்ரைட்டா இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு வந்து you can always do. அதை போய் டோன்ட் இன்சிஸ்ட், நோ, லைக் இதை வந்து நிறைய பேர் அதை கேட்டுன்னு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ நான் வந்து சர்டிஃபிகேட் கேட்கணும் அப்படி, டோன்ட் இன்சிஸ்ட் தட். சரி, அவனே வந்து என்ன சொல்றேன்னா ஒரு வருத்தப்பட்டு வந்துட்டு ஒரு சூழ்நிலை வரக்கூடாது வந்துருச்சு, சரியா, வரும்போது அவனு வரும்போது நீ சர்டிஃபிகேட் இருக்கா அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இருக்கா அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு டோன்ட் டூ தட். அது வந்து எனக்கு வந்து ஐ ரிக்வெஸ்ட் ஹம்பிளி டு ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ இஸ் தட் டோன்ட் டூ தட். அது வந்து அவனையும் வந்துட்டு இன்னும் ரொம்ப கொண்டுடாது, என்னடா இது நம்ம இப்படி வந்திருக்கோம், இங்க வந்துதான் நமக்கு வந்துச்சு, நம்ம இப்படி பண்றாங்களே அப்படின்ற மாதிரி வருவாது. அதை வந்து சேர்த்து அந்த மாதிரி கேட்க வேண்டாம். அதுக்கு பதிலாக வந்துட்டு ஒரு 2 நாள் கழிச்சு ஒரு செல்ஃப் டிக்ளரேஷன் கொடுத்துருப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நீங்க 2 நாள் கழிச்சு நீங்க கேட்டு வாங்கிக்கலாம். ஸோ ரிசீவ் ஆஸ் யூஸ்வல் அவனை வந்து ரிசீவ் பண்ணுங்க. அவனை தனியா வந்துட்டு பஸ்ல வரும்போது தனியா உட்கார வைக்கிறது, இல்ல வரும்போது உள்ள வரும்போது தனியா வர, அதெல்லாம் தயவுசெய்து பண்ணவே பண்ணாதீங்க. அப்படி எல்லாரும் பண்ணாங்கன்னா ஹெச்ஆர் வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா நத்திங் வில் ஹேப்பன் டு ஆல் ஆஃப் அஸ். நீங்க முன்னாடி நின்று கோ டூ இட் வித் தெம். அவங்க கூட போய் உட்காருங்க, சாப்பிடுங்க, எல்லாம் பண்ணுங்க. So that you become an example for all others. So this is my humble request to everybody.
So the stigma விஷயமா ஒரு மெசேஜா மட்டும் இல்லாம you have given lot of inputs, tips for the practicing HR professionals, sir. Thank you very much, and you also conveyed the message very strong. So apart from the industries and HR, I am coming to the student side, sir. You know that a lot of retrenchment, layoffs are happening in the companies, which is as you said, Ratan Tata உடைய quote கூட நீங்க மென்ஷன் பண்ணீங்க. On the student side, they are prepared, and particularly now it is the end of their academic year and they are looking forward to join a new company. They were anticipating placements to happen. So on the madri in the situation la, what are your tips or what are your advice, thoughts for them to tide over this situation? Should they refocus on their
first point is be motivated. Nothing will happen, right? First, stay motivated. There is a lot of opportunities that is going to come in. ஸோ அந்த இதில் வந்துருங்க. இந்த டைம் வந்துட்டு என்ன பண்ணுங்கன்னா வந்து ட்ரை டு யூட்டிலைஸ் ஆஸ் மச் அஸ் பாசிபிள் வந்துன்னா ட்ரை டு கெட் லாட் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன், இம்ப்ரூவ் யுவர் செல்ஃப். ஏன்னா இந்த டைம் வந்து நிறைய பேர் கிடைச்சிருக்காது இது. So you were studying, then you were doing for placement. இப்போ வந்துட்டு you have a lot of time. Prepare yourself well. Be ready. Right? இப்போ வந்துட்டு நான் என்ன சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னா ஃப்ரெஷர்ஸ்க்கு வந்துட்டுனா be open minded. எனக்கு இதுதான் வேணும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்காதீங்க. Okay, there are a lot of opportunities today, like for example trainees வந்து நிறைய இருக்கு. And to all of you, the youngsters வந்து என்ன சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னா first 3 years is your learning time. Don't worry about money. First 3 years is your learning time. Whatever job you are getting, and I'm very honestly telling you, படிச்சது ஒண்ணு வேலை செய்ய போறது ஒண்ணு. Whatever you have studied is something different, and what you are going to work is something different. So be prepared for it. So whatever that comes in your way, take it up. Okay, அதுல இருந்து வந்தனா you start training. So whatever comes, இப்போ வந்து lot of opportunity. I've seen like lot of requirements are coming for freshers. அது வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா போல்டா எடுக்கிறது பாருங்க. So அதுல இருந்து வந்துட்டுனா see what is happening now. Nothing is better than something, right? You have something now. In the time of waste பண்ணாம வந்துட்டுனா you're doing something. So get into whatever you're getting. So whatever opportunities are coming, take that as an opportunity. So அதுல நீ வந்து start working. இந்த டைம்ல வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா வந்து start preparing yourself well. And opportunities are plenty. For example, not only in private sector மட்டும் சொல்லாதீங்க, government side நிறைய opportunities வரும். Because this is the time where you have lot of retirements that is going to come in next 2-3 years. So you have lot of opportunities coming inside the government itself. Privatelyயும் வந்துட்டு அப்படின்னாக்கா வந்து today, yes, because of this pandemic, because of this market situations, volume drops, இதெல்லாம் வரும்போது வந்துன்னா cost optimizationல வந்துட்டு we have lot of things are being worked. Okay, so no fresh recruits, nothing is happening. அந்த மாதிரி போயிட்டு இருக்காது. பட் இதுல வந்து நான் எங்கெல்லாம் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி கிடைக்குதோ அதை வந்து ட்ரை டு கிளிக். அதை வந்துட்டு எனக்கு வேண்டாம் அப்படின்றது வந்து they should not tell. They should be open minded. They should take up whatever that is coming on their way. From there they can always shine. என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் now what we are is வந்துட்டுனா I remember still when I finished my engineering in 1989, I was just standing on roads not knowing what to do. Because limited industries, limited colleges. So wherever you got an opportunity, you just pinched in, and then from there you started growing. So similarly, அதுக்கப்புறம் என்னன்னா 98க்கு அப்புறம் lot of opportunities came inside. Lot of industries came. So similarly, now what is happening now is only a temporary setback, right? So once this all becomes, might be safe to me till I feel this 2020 is going to go away. So we'll have to be mentally prepared. So might be 2021, yes, we are going to have a fresh start. So we at that time, once the market starts picking up, and a lot of opportunities will come. And the samayatla vandu you should be mentally prepared, mentally and physically prepared. Okay, to come. Today, what is happening is like people are ready to come. The only biggest challenge we have is no public transport. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா மக்கள்லாம் பசங்களாம் ரெடியா இருக்காங்க வர்றதுக்கு. பட் ஆனால் பப்ளிக் டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் இல்லாதனால வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா பீப்புள் ஆர் நாட் கமிங். அதே மாதிரி வந்துட்டு என்ன ஃபேமிலி சைட்ல கொஞ்சம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. நீ எப்படி இருந்தாலும் இப்போ போய் பண்ண போற. ஸோ இதை வந்து அடுத்த வருஷம் பார்த்துக்கலாம். So one side what is improving is your farming is improving now. So a lot of people started getting into farming. So நிறைய பேர் பேசும்போது வந்துட்டு இல்ல சார் நான் ஊர்லயே உட்காந்து விவசாயம் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க. So one way is always good. So to me is like one is closing, one always opens. So இப்போதைக்கு வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா for students or வந்து whoever is looking for job, இன்னொரு ரிக்வெஸ்ட் எல்லார்கிட்டயும் என்ன சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னா வேலை செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கவங்க தயவுசெய்து கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க. எனக்கு சேலரி கட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க, எனக்கு வந்து வேலை இல்லை, ப்ரெஷர் நிறைய வருதுன்னு சொல்லி தயவுசெய்து வேலையை விட்டுறாதீங்க. கொஞ்சம் பல்ல கடிச்சிட்டு வந்துன்னா ஹோல்ட் யுவர் செல்ஃப் டில் தி சிச்சுவேஷன் இம்ப்ரூவ்ஸ். Because the moment you come out அப்படின்னும் போது it's becoming very difficult. Similarly for students வந்துட்டு அப்படின்னாக்கா stay positive. Lot of opportunities will definitely come, but only request to all of you is now prepare yourself well. The last minute preparation when you have enough time now, start preparing yourself. So once you are prepared and gain whatever is happening around your field, it becomes easy for you once the market opens. And definitely 2021, yes, definitely to my inner feeling is 2021, whatever is last year will definitely 100 times will be picking up. திருப்பியும் வந்து will be behind, running behind numbers and no time to sit and talk. இந்த மாதிரி நம்மளால பண்ணவே முடியாது. So this is the situation in 2021. So stay motivated. It is all temporary.
Yes, sir. So you're saying it will revive and stay focused, stay motivated, and you're saying it is also throwing up a lot of alternative career options for people. நிறைய people are choosing their own interest, farming and agriculture and the மாதிரி. I am also seeing that, following that. So இது வரைக்கும் வந்து the human side of HR அப்படின்னு நம்ம பேசும்பொழுது right from the beginning you have always given the complete packaging of the title, and the message is very well communicated across to people at different strata, be it students or at the organization lower ranks and the higher ranks varaikum, plant head, HR head varaikum. I think complete the information is shared, sir. And moreover, I want you to talk about the Sharp Forum. One of the very key designation that I saw in your LinkedIn profile, it said Arghaa Technologies Human Relations Director, Director of Human Relations, and that is one of the reasons why I want you to talk about the HR side, human side of HR. And HR Sharp Forum, like I introduced you during the beginning of the program, I mentioned about Sharp. So you have done over 115 programs through Sharp in the last almost decade. So what Sharp stands for, and what are you doing, and what are you planning to do during this COVID situation? Because I know that you've been doing a lot during this COVID situation. Because I see a lot of information being shared in many HR groups as well as in Sharp forum groups and all that. So what Sharp stands for, and what is the way forward for Sharp?
Money, I'll tell you one thing, no, like Sharp is not my baby, right? It is a baby of 18 people.
Okay.
Okay, so it is a baby of 18 people. It is not my baby. Please understand. So I was just a part of forming that team, right? So all my young guys, like a lot of people to say, like Vijay, okay, a lot of people, Shivaraj and N. Tyagarajan. So all these guys, know, like they were all meeting together, and suddenly it all struck, and then it was formed. Okay, we have been very successful. And SHARP stands for Society for Human and Allied Research Professionals Forum. Okay, so 2011 we started with about 18 people. Today it is nice that we have about 400 to 500 people as members. Floating, it is definitely different. And we have been always, right from the beginning, we have always followed this principle. Is like, our intention is not to make money. It is only to inculcate the learning habits and then share knowledges. So that's our information, and I'm very happy that my team and myself, I'll not say myself, also my team, the entire credit goes to my team, where we have organized about 7 conferences, absolutely free of cost, with about 300 to 400 participations. Okay, and we have never compromised on the quality. Since it doesn't mean that no free means okay, it is there, but we have never compromised on quality of the program. And we have been very dedicatedly third Thursday of every month, like irrespective of whatever is happening, unless and until it is a holiday. Otherwise, third Thursday is fixed. Even if 20 people are coming, we run the meeting. And I'm happy that we have an average strength of about 60 to 70 people attending the meeting every time. And we talk about reality and no presentation. We are not high. We never go in for high fly at all. We are, now Modi is telling, no, local is local, right? We are always local, and we always try to inculcate local informations, and we try to share local information. And the entire credit is to my team, not to me. Like, I'm just only, like, what do you call, I'm just only a lock. They are the keys. Okay, they open it, they close it. So whatever they do is only as a senior person, and I always, like better, like always encourage youngsters. So the entire credit goes to my executive committee of the SHARP team. And okay, without their support and cooperation, they cannot do. A lot of people to mention, like Krishna Kumar, Nagaratnam, Shivraj, okay, and Tyagarajan, who are all Rajesh. All these guys, like young guys who are in the front, and then giving the opportunity to lead. அவங்க பர்மிஷன் கொடுத்ததுனால தான் நம்ம லீட் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சோம். ஸோ அவங்க இல்லைன்னு வச்சுக்க, நம்ம லீட்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்க முடியாது. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம we are only leading, guiding them and mentoring them. அவ்வளவுதான். So we have been successful, and it is very happy that we are also recognized as one of the good forums, and not good best forums also, like. So always at not looking at, but deliver good things. And this time I think we have called Umarov from what do you call Ashok to address us on succession planning. So we have a lot of people. We had Siddiqui this year. We have decided to do something else, learn from leaders series. So we are going to have different leaders sharing their experiences. So it is all real-time experiences. Today, without presentations, it is only real-time experiences. I think that is what we have been successful. And we also give opportunities for other forums to come and participate. For conference, participate. So Mother Forest, they can also come and talk on behalf of meeting address. So on the we always encourage. So local, we always give local HR heads, local young guys, we give a lot of preference to come and share their experiences. So, and we also do like girls, women HR professionals are also there. So we also give them opportunities to come and talk to them. Don't worry about all these things. So we always tell. So it gives a platform for them also to come and express. So we always encourage. And it is only sharing knowledge. We try as much as best possible is to share knowledge, whatever best known to everybody. So that's different.
Right, sir. So
ரொம்ப பெரிய
may I-
இதெல்லாம் நாங்க சொல்ல மாட்டோம். ரொம்ப ஹை ஃப்ளைனா
கண்டிப்பா whatever gets communicated
doing what
நீங்க
best we
பண்ணிட்டு
can do.
இருக்கீங்க. So primarily it is also focusing on the manufacturing sector அப்படிங்கறதுனால you are keeping it very simple and sir may I wish
We have also tried IT guys to come and talk about it.
yes I've seen I've noticed it sir. So may I wish Sharp Forum and your human-centered, human-centric services to continue, and may I be benefited by a lot of information shared by you and your forum and your organization. So we have come to the close of this the session, sir. Do you have anything to say as a concluding remark?
Yes, definitely. The question that you have raised now, like why I put human relations. So I always believe in this, right? Okay, like it is not human resources. Don't treat human as resources, no? Treat them as on the humans. And the humans on the relation, because earlier when I started my career, or why I was fond of IR, industrial relation, is like we were able to build relationship with a lot of people. A lot of fights happen, definitely. In a factory, a lot of fights happen. Ultimately, what happens is the relationship stands strong till the end. With this concluding remark, I will finish. I left a company in 2004, right? And we had tough unions at that time. It was a brewing industry, and we had tough unions, right? So, those days it was all different. So we had such tough unions, and I was really happy. Like last year, the same union secretary got retired. I don't know how he got my number. Okay, and then he sent me a group photograph saying that, sir, today is my last working day. I've got retired. Just imagine 2004 and where is 2009?
That is the power of
there. What I
relationship.
say is, no, it is not a resource. It is a relationship. Okay, it was a relationship. So I always call myself, and then it is better that you don't call yourself as human resource department. You call as human relationship department. So what happens is like relationships are built. So prior to that, what happens is like what happens now, like your trust is built. Your trust is again led to relationship, and the relationship it leads to a better, peaceful industrial harmony. Now una number nee enna number company nalla po. You have a problem in this anywhere, everything gets collapsed. So adu HR has a HR. Don't run away from all those things. They are also human beings. After all, they also have நிறைய பேருக்கு நான் அதான் சொல்லுவேன். நான் ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயிக்கு வென்டிலேஷன் பாயிண்ட் எங்க அப்படின்னு இப்ப நமக்கு வென்டிலேஷன் பாயிண்ட் யாருன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா வைஃப், கல்யாணம் ஆனவங்களுக்கெல்லாம், இல்லைன்னா ஃப்ரெண்டு இல்லையா. அதே மாதிரி ஃபேக்டரியில வரும்போது ஒரு வென்டிலேஷன் பாயிண்ட் யாருன்னு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா HR தான். சரியா? ஸோ அதை கோவப்படாம கொஞ்சம் பொறுமையா கேட்டு சாதிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சோம் அப்படின்னாக்கா நிறைய சாதிக்கலாம். ரைட்டா? ஸோ அது நல்ல ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் பில்ட் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னாக்கா வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன்சைட் தி ஃபேக்டரி you'll come to know. And as I said earlier, be proactive, not reactive. And don't be surprised by surprises. And be ready to face all unexpected things that always happens. That's HR. இன்னொன்னு சொல்லிடுறேன், HR என்னன்னா it is like a tawil or a mirdangam. Okay, right? So ரெண்டு பக்கமும் you get a bang. But please understand, whenever some function is happening, whether it is a marriage or a music festival, without mirdangam, okay, what happens now? The function is not. Manidana madinga. Respect human as human. Everything will fall in place. Thank you very much, Manikandan, for giving this opportunity. And I think we have maintained time. Started at exactly and finishing exactly.
Sir. Yeah. Just the inspiration is from forums like Sharp. Inspiration is from forums like Sharp, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you for joining. Yeah, thank you for joining, sir. Thanks you for excellent information shared with us.
Yeah. Stay motivated. It is only temporary. Stay safe, be safe, and make others safe. That is HR.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Roman Henry. Yes, sir. Roman.
Thank you.